Good.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so recording is in progress. I want to welcome you all to today's episode of Love You to Life podcast radio podcast, Love You to Life radio podcast, where we're going to explore the power and passion of prosperity through ownership. I have today my guest, Janine Jennings. Owning a business is key. And once I got Janine as my tax professional, things changed for me significantly. Owning a business, whether it's a full time grind or whether it's a hustle, business unlocks so many key things to us. Like it unlocks your own personal growth. It tax advantages, long term freedom, and with the right guidance, learning from a trusted tax professional, which is needed, you can maximize every opportunity. So today we have Janine Jennings joining us from JP Tax. So, a woman who discovered how to manage her gifts simultaneously and thrive in both purpose and profit. So, get ready for this inspiring journey that we have with her, juggling multiple talents, but they all feed into one. I always tell people it's like the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, but it's like wisdom, business, and prosperity all tied together. So, it still goes full circle.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darlene, for having me on. I am so excited. I am very appreciative of you just sitting down with me and talking to me and um, having me on. It's such a blessing, and I am so grateful.
Good. And I'm grateful to have you on because a lot of times when people do have businesses or side hustles, they don't think about having a tax professional. So we want to hear from you. We want to know what is your background in terms of business and how did you become a tax professional?
Okay. Well, I am a hairstylist by trade.
Okay.
I've known since first grade that I wanted to be a hairstylist. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be a hairstylist. I also wanted to be a neurosurgeon. And when
Hmm.
I figured out that you had to go to school so many years to be a neurosurgeon, I said, I'm going to stick to hairstyling. And especially since Paul Mitchell came out with his own hair care line, when he came out with his own hair care line, and I heard his story, how he started from nothing, how he started
Hmm.
from nothing, I said, oh, hairstyling is where it's at. It's what I'm going to do. So
Okay, cool. All
I've
right.
been doing hair since first grade and officially got my license after high school because
Okay.
my high school did not offer that in while I was going to high school. And so I've been doing hair for 30 plus years. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
yes, and it's led me to many different um, gifts that I have. And I
Okay.
also, how I got started into doing taxes was out of the sheer need of just wanting to make some extra money. I was having my son and I wanted something that was short term, that I could make some extra money here in Ohio since January through April. It's slower because of the winter and because of the
Hmm.
snow, and nobody wants to come in regularly to get their hair done because it's snowing. So I said, well,
Hmm.
what can I do to supplement my income before I have this child to, just supplement and just I can just have some money before I have my child. And so
Hmm.
H&R Block had came on the commercial. I was watching TV and H&R Block had came on a commercial and said they would train me or train whoever for free and you just had to work for them for that tax season. I said, "Oh, sign me up," because it's January to April 15th. I said, "That's
Hmm.
perfect." And I can
Hmm.
continue to do hair for the rest of the year. And so
Hmm.
that's what I did. I learned how to manage my time during that time from January to April 15th for the hair that I did and also the taxes that I did. And so it served its purpose. I supplemented my income for that time, had my son, and then I thought no more about it. Next tax season rolls around, and I just applied my skills from doing hair to doing taxes and just treated everybody
That's
with
interesting.
Yeah, with kindness, because you have to think you're in somebody's personal space doing hair and you're somebody's
Okay.
personal space doing taxes.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. That is two
That's,
different spaces too, right? Yes,
yeah,
that's awesome. Okay.
yeah, because
This is the
they're,
education.
yeah, they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable and you're in their personal space. And I just treated them how I wanted to be treated, basically. And
Okay.
so one lady called me back that next tax season, said, "Hey, this is such and such, and I want you to do my taxes. Are you doing taxes?" Well, I'm on the phone like, "Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing taxes. Yeah, yeah, of course." Had no plans of doing of doing taxes. And I said, "Yeah, we're going to do your taxes." So I figured out what software I was going to use on her and I did her taxes. And then after I did her taxes, she loved how I did her taxes. I guess she just loved it because I like things you have to figure out. I loved math. I mean, taxes have a bottom line. There has to be an answer. And so I just like the strategy of it. And
Oh, okay.
she sent me everybody in her family, like
Oh, wow. Okay.
everybody. And
Mhm.
so that's how my tax business started, just from a phone call.
Okay. And you're really humble and very modest about it. Like how you talk about it, like, oh yeah, I just started doing taxes, but this has turned into a dual full-time thing that you do. You now
Yes.
do a lot of tax professionals, and how I ended up with you is that I needed a tax professional that understood business, particularly small businesses or growing businesses or people who had a business and a job.
Yes.
Because I had someone once create a tax issue for me because they didn't do the proper write-offs when I was in the insurance business. So you're very modest about it, but you're very skilled at what you do. So tell me from the beginning how it started and what it looks like now. How many
Okay.
years later? How many years?
At 25 years later.
Okay, 25 years later. So it's very fruitful for you then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I've been an entrepreneur since fifth grade. I had my own candy business in fifth grade. So I understood numbers very early. I understood
Mm-hmm.
what it takes to make a profit. I understood you having inventory. I did. I don't know how I figured that out, but I figured it out
You're a
early.
young. Let's start there. Young. If you don't know how to do anything else, you know how to make money and have fun. According
Yes.
to our uncle that's 91, he says you
Yes.
know how to do two things if you're young: make some money and have some fun. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
figured out what works. And so I was just able to, taking that class at H&R Block, I was able to understand understand what it took to save the money to put into your business and to save on taxes. Because
Mhm.
those are the key elements in business. Saving money, pay less in taxes, and putting money back into your business. Like,
Yeah, prosperity is like a wheel. It recycles itself. You got to keep going around. Yeah,
yeah.
good. And then it keeps you keep going higher, elevating. Great.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
Hmm.
so just from year one, I just started getting all those referrals and referrals and referrals. And as I said, I'm like, I probably should go to college for this. So I went
Hmm.
to school and got an accounting degree. I first started college because I wanted to get a psychology degree. But
Okay.
just being a hairstylist, we're underpaid psychologists anyway. So I wanted
I
to.
was gonna say that's psychology right there, right? You got firsthand.
Yes, yes.
OJT on the job training, right?
Right. A lot of
Mhm.
on the job training. So then I took my first accounting class. I said, no, I'm gonna change my major. This is where I'm supposed to be. And so I
Oh,
got
good.
an accounting degree and just had been building my business from referrals because I just really like helping people save money on their taxes. And I'm a very good money manager. And
Uh-huh.
so I know how to manage money very, very well. And people just appreciate that kindness and that care that I take to to their business. And
Right.
because taxes are the biggest expense you will ever pay. Ignorance tax and taxes are the biggest expenses. Or
Okay.
so,
I agree because that it cost me. And when I remember coming to you because I had actually taken the H&R Block course, and I like figuring things out, but not all that. Like in math, it's okay. But one of the things that I did is I tried it, and it wasn't anything that I really wanted to do.
right,
Um, I realized very early I didn't want to do it, but I thought I knew what I was doing. And then I recall turning my taxes over to you. I said, okay, there comes a breaking point where you really should have professionals incorporated into what you do. And that I can't, brought you in, and you said, wait a minute, where's this, and this, and this? And I was like, what? I realized how little I knew
thank
versus how much I thought I knew.
you. Right,
And I think a lot of businesses, when you're in business, and you're an entrepreneur, you think you know a lot, and you do know a lot, but you have to stay in your lane with what you know, and then actually have other people to help you build what you don't know.
right,
So,
right.
yeah.
And I
Mhm.
help entrepreneurs and small business owners just focused on them making the money, and I help managing it and making sure it's right and making sure they're saving the money too. So
Mhm.
they like that I take the stress off of them
Mhm.
in the sense of they don't have to figure out, well, how I'm going to save the money and how am I going to make the money? They can
Right.
just make the money and I can just save the money.
Right. Show them how to do it.
Yeah.
So you just let a cat out the bag because I didn't know you were an actual accountant too. And that's interesting. So, but you still love doing hair.
I still love doing hair.
Mhm.
I have clients who are 98 years old. Will be
Oh, wow.
98.
Uh-huh. Wow. And you do their taxes for them.
I
Yes,
do the
people, when you make money, you pay taxes at 98. It doesn't stop, right?
Well, she has some investment properties, so
Right.
she has rental properties, so that's why she
Right.
still has to get her taxes done.
Right. But she understands that at
Yeah,
98.
yeah.
So just imagine she's 98. How long have you been doing her taxes? 25 years?
25 years. Yeah.
So that's really interesting because that means that she came to you when she was 72, somewhere around that or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah.
she comes in at 72, 73, and she understood the quality of having a good, and back then it was not easy for entrepreneurs to even find somebody
Right.
like it was always a complication because I remember when I got started, it was always complicated finding somebody that understood the insurance business, like chargebacks and
Right.
things of that nature. Because I started out in the insurance businesses when I really, really made some money. I had made some money doing other things prior to that too. But so you had a side hustle that turned into a business.
Turned into a full-fledged business from referral. So I know how to
Hmm.
manage my time very well between the two professions.
Okay.
And just so I can respect other people's time.
Right.
And also, there's other things that I've done in the hair business or other side businesses, I should say, that
Mhm.
that just flow along with the trifecta of what I do. So Mary
Okay.
Kay, that's makeup. So my clients who get married, I'm able to, offer the skincare because I'm already doing their
Oh,
hair and they
right.
need
Mhm.
makeup and everybody needs skincare
Right.
after 21, you need some skincare.
Right.
And they have a good product. Like I
Hmm.
like their face wash and all of their facial stuff. They
Hmm.
are heavily researched and tested, and they really produce a good outcome for women. And
Oh, okay. So they have a good product for women. Okay.
yeah, and men too. And it actually gets you are actually have results with their
Okay.
product, and you don't have to pay a lot of money for it.
Okay.
And then also another thing that I'm in is Legal Shield, is where
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, you have to have when you're in business, you have to have a lawyer help you navigate through contracts, help you navigate if people don't want to
Right,
pay you, help you
right,
navigate just understanding the law and how it applies to your business and what you can and cannot do. Like, I called Legal Shield and asked them, well, I want to trademark my name. How do I do that? You know?
right. And they give you the steps. So actually I used to sell it when it was prepaid legal.
Yes,
And
yes.
I should have bought in the stock in it. The Lord told me buy stock. I bought limited stock, and one day I got this huge $3,000 check when they sold. Had I bought the stock I was supposed to, I would have got a $30,000 check.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, but so I know about that, and I've always been my go-to. And you have to text it to me anyway, because I had talked to a young lady that just started a trucking business, and I told her I was going to send that to her. So thanks for reminding me.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
so yeah, make sure you text it to me. But
I
yeah,
will.
that one is a number one winner for me. I did all my wheels with that one and everything, so I definitely understand that portion. Yeah, that's good. Because
And
you
they,
do need it. And as a small business, it's
yes,
hard to find someone because all you think about is cost, but sometimes there's ways to cut costs that are still very effective.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
It's, I mean, the value of having a lawyer in your pocket and only having to pay, well,
$20.
well, if you when you have a business, you have to add the business supplement onto it. So it
Which,
comes out to about 70 something dollars
okay.
altogether.
Okay.
And they also added that you can get your trust done for $250 now
Oh, you
with
can
the
get a
membership.
trust done. Oh, really? I have to go back and look at mine. I haven't been paying attention to it. So you can
Yeah.
actually get a trust done.
For
Wow.
$250.
So the average cost of a trust usually is several $1,000s.
It's starts about five. If you're gonna do a
Right.
trust, about five.
Right, because I actually sat down. I used to work for some advisors, and yeah, it's very expensive. So
Yes.
wow, $250 for your trust. We have to talk about that.
Yes. Yes.
So as an entrepreneur, and I just want people to understand because a lot of times there's people that do hair and they don't understand that they can be bigger than just sitting at a chair or doing hair
Hmm.
every. Because eventually, at some point, you may have specific clients, and you may now where you don't take newer clients, but you have a specific set of type of clients that you work with and specific things that you do. Because the hair business at one time changed tremendously and drastically. When they went from doing perms and jerry curls and went to straight natural hair,
Hmm.
which caused a pricing shift for many people. And I know quite a few ladies that got out of the business because of that,
Yes.
because they didn't really have anything else in place to know that, okay, this bombshell was going to drop. So they
Right.
had to either go find income or they ended up just losing their businesses. They just stopped doing hair and they do it casually. So
Right.
that's good.
Right.
You prepared. Yeah, you prepared.
I'm blessed to be able to understand patterns and pick up on patterns and when things are going to shift before they actually do.
Oh, good. Okay. So it's a car anointing, knowing the
Knowing,
timing of when things are shift. Yes.
yes.
Very good. Good. That's
And just knowing too that being a hairstylist is very brutal on your body. Very, very
mhm.
brutal. And
Okay.
a lot of hairstylists have back problems, leg problems, arm problems.
Hmm.
And I thought I was going to be able to do hair for until I was 90 years old, until I had sciatic pain. And I'm like, no, I can't do hair until I'm 90 years old.
So what did you shift on? What do you do to keep yourself managed like that? Because I know a lot of them, people's hands bother them at a certain time too.
Well, have to work out. And that is at least 30 minutes of walking each day, at least.
Okay.
Um,
To get
and
yourself
lifting some sort of a weight to keep your
uh-huh.
muscles and your core
Strong. Okay.
strong. Um, so that's just what I do. I can walk anywhere. That's a commitment that I have to myself, is just to walk at least minimum 30 minutes. But walking is something I can do anywhere, if out of town or what where have you. It's just simple to do. You know what I'm saying? Go walk at the mall 30 minutes and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. You've gotten your activity. And that will keep you um just young,
Agile and
agile.
flexible and
Yes.
able to, yeah, move around. Yeah, and
Yes.
I agree because it will. So tell me, a person now with the climate changing, because you understand climates and changes, and I don't mean the weather climate, I'm talking about the business climate and how
Mhm.
people do business. It has changed significantly. And a lot of younger people do, they do things virtually where they're making this money. When would you suggest that a person get a tax professional?
I would suggest that they should maybe after the first year they're in business.
Okay.
After the first year they're in business, so they can understand what it's like to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when they get the tax professional is they're able to understand what the tax professional is talking about.
Right.
So working the business, um, just
Mm-hmm.
knowing what the ins and outs are, because by a year you should have quite a few things figured out and have made some mistakes where that you can change course in and pivot. Like, oh no, we're not going to do this service, we're going to do this service. You kind of should
Mm-hmm.
know what services are working for you. You should kind of know your pricing model. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you should kind of know like what your hours, what your commitment level is in for as far as hours go. Like I'm gonna,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you should kind of have that figured out. And then if you just don't know after that first year comes around and you don't know how to navigate the tax part, then just hire the professional.
And you're actually available everywhere. You do taxes all over the US, right?
I do taxes all over the US,
Okay,
yes.
good. So you'll have to make sure and we'll make sure we'll put your information in here
Okay.
on the podcast. So you can give it to us now if you want, the name of the tax service and the phone number where people can reach you.
The name of the tax service is JP Tax Service and Accounting. We're located headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio. And the phone number is 216-334-5278. And the website is jptaxservice.com.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah, because I wanted to make sure we get that in, and we're going to get that in before we end too. It's a significant thing because people need to see themselves differently. If you're having a tax professional take care of your taxes, then like you said, you can help them set up a budget as a business owner. Because you did make a recommendation to me this year that I'm looking into, and I'm definitely going to follow through on before the end of the year, regarding your car changing over. So that's
Yes,
important. Yes, because trying to build a credit for your business without going into any additional debt at a
yes,
slow pace, because the debts that I'll create will be significant versus like starting. So just that I'm moving towards that in the next 60 days of doing that. So I'm
yes,
excited about it. Yeah. And so that's what people I just want to share with our listeners, that it's important to find people that are significant in your area of business, because you can think you know everything, and we're moving away from an era where we have to do everything. We have tax professionals like Janine and her staff that can actually assist you in moving in the forefront and moving around and take you from look at your client for 25 years. She has a lot of trust and value in your services, and she's 98 and she owns multiple properties. Look at that.
mhm,
So, we don't want to be behind. We want to be ahead. We want to move forward, and we want to be glad that we have professional services out there like yourself. So, anything else you want to share with us about maybe that you would recommend or say for helping a person really keep their taxes in line, or how fruitful it is to have a business, even if you have a job?
Yes,
Like a
so
real brief touching on that.
there are a couple things that I would suggest. If you're a W-2 employee, there's two tax systems, one for employees and one for business owners. You always want to be the one for business owners, because that tax system is more advantageous to you because you get to save more on taxes since that's your biggest expense in your entire life.
Okay.
So, um, when you work for somebody, and it's okay to work for somebody and
Oh
have
yeah.
a side business. Figure out a lot of people say figure out what you're passionate about, but I say figure out what you are good at. Sometimes you
Right.
don't have to be passionate about what you're good at. It's just comes natural and something that is you can help people with and help solve their problem.
I agree, because you can be passionate about shopping, but you might be better at making money too, rather than you might be
Right.
passionate
Right.
about spending it, but you might be better at making it.
Right. And I mean, when I started taxes, I wasn't passionate about it. I just knew how to do it and I wanted to make some extra money.
Uh-huh.
I became passionate about it later.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it grew into a passion because you
It,
saw the significance of helping people.
yeah. Some
Right.
people get confused, like, well, I'm not really passionate about anything. Well, you're not going to be really. I mean, off the rip, some things you're just not going to be passionate about.
Yeah.
You just need to
Yeah.
do it out of a sheer need, you know. Just
Right. And then so you were passionate about doing hair. And then the taxes
yeah.
came out of need. Yeah. So,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
people were like, what's my purpose? Your purpose is for you to be able to be the best person that you can be here on this earth. And
Mhm.
sometimes it requires trying different things. It
Yes.
requires being in different arenas and
Right.
understanding different things. So it's not that you have to be really great and knowledgeable immediately. Sometimes you just have to learn. So I want to
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up, because that's really significant, more than anything, to people to understand that you don't really have to always figure it out, but you got to do something,
Right.
right?
Yeah, you have to do something.
You have to do something, yeah.
And so when you're a W-2 employee and you're thinking of something that you can do, just figure out top five things what you like to do or what you feel you have a need to do. Like need more is a real thing. Like I need more money or I need more, need
Mhm.
more is a real thing. So what do you need more of? You got to figure that
Right.
out. And then two, once you are W-2 and then you have a self-employed and you are become self-employed, you get to lower your taxable income. So you get to pay less in taxes. That's what the beauty of it is.
Hmm.
Because you get to write off. I'm going to toggle between the word write off and expenses. They mean the same thing. You get to the things that are necessary, ordinary and necessary to run that business,
Hmm.
you get to write that off, just such as your cell phone bill, such as your Wi-Fi, such as your supplies it took for you to
Hmm.
be in business, such
Hmm.
as your car that you use to maybe run the errands or deliver the packages or go to the mailbox. You get to write off your car, the full value of it. You get to write off the gas for your car. You get to write off the
So
car
even if you
insurance.
do a DoorDash, like a side hustle, you get to write that stuff off, right?
Yeah, you get to write that off. Like
Hmm.
quickest entry to being self-employed is doing a DoorDash or doing Uber Eats or doing Instacart. And that gets you in the door to being self-employed. A lot of CEOs of companies that I do their taxes, they do DoorDash, Lyft, or Uber, because they know that lowers their taxable income. They have a high
Oh,
income,
wow. Hmm.
six figures, and they know being deemed self-employed, they get to have a lot of write-offs with that. Even though they didn't make a lot of money, you still get to write off your legitimate things that you use.
Right, and that's really significant because people don't understand that. Like you, when you're at a point, I think if you're at 80,000 or more, you now become a 40% tax bracket, right? When you
37,
get up to 80,000, I think, huh?
yeah,
If
about
you're single,
37%.
yeah, 37%, which feels like 40% of your income.
Yeah,
So you
it's
don't
not.
realize that is, a lot of people don't really even understand taking advantage of their health care and the things of that nature and their 401k at work. So here you have now being taxed 37%. So doing something as simple as DoorDash or having a side thing where you do, like I do, ginger shots and sea moss, which I feel like is important and significant. Like people at work are like, why don't you ever catch a cold? Why are you always so healthy? You never are sick. And I'm like, oh, because I do sea moss and ginger shots. And they were like, I want some of those, So
Hmm.
just it evolved in them seeing me, evolved into something different too as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, very
Yes.
good. Mhm.
And so, once you're self-employed, then what the second thing that you would need to do after you figure out what you want to
Mhm.
do or what you can do or what you
Mhm.
have the mind space to handle, then you
Mhm.
want to save your receipts. Save all of your
Okay.
receipts. That is the biggest thing that will save your life while you're in business is saving all receipts. Even the little receipts that you pay cash for, that's $2, save that receipt because it will help you in the end.
Oh, okay.
And
So good.
save,
Yeah. So if you're not using your debit card to swipe it, you want to save the receipts for those little cash things that you did when you ran in and bought a bottle of water or you had to go do something. Yes. Okay. Got you.
even
That's
with the debit
interesting.
card, even with the debit card, because the IRS likes the physical receipts, and that's how you beat them is with the receipts. Because if they
Okay, good.
ever want to challenge you on your write-offs,
Uh-huh.
then you can show them all the receipts for that category of write-offs.
And that's important. So
That's
also if you do businesses where you get chargebacks of any sort, you want to make sure you keep receipts of that, where the differences that fluctuated in it. You know what? This is really good, Janine. We may have to do this a little bit later, closer to tax season too.
okay, okay,
So we have only a few minutes left before we close.
okay.
And Love You to Life Radio, where we're going to bring you really great information and some entrepreneurs like ourselves, or just people that can share with you on how you can be a game changer in this life, for yourself and for your family. So, anything that you want to leave us with that you feel is very significant and people understanding, some words of wisdom from you to our audience.
Well, words of wisdom, at JP Tax Service, we make you good look good in life and on paper. And also that
Oh, good.
being wealthy is your birthright. It can happen with a little bit of preparation and some gusto and just to keep doing consistently. You won't sometimes you won't feel like you're making any progress, but you are just being consistent in doing it. Because I started the business with one client, just one, and I made it seem like as if I had all of these other clients, like, oh yeah, I didn't like false flag. If that's a word, right? I didn't false flag, but I just made sure that she felt important. And she sent me everybody. She sent me like 10
Okay.
people, 10 people.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah. So
That was
that
good.
10 people. That was, yeah, it was a good seed that was sown into you because those 10 people eventually offered some other people, and then they offered some other people. And yeah, sometimes, so now we went from going around a pond or who you can see around a pool to where you can now go fish for marlins or anybody in the world because now you're word of mouth with people getting around and talking about you. Because I know I did quite a few referrals to you too because it was a life game changer for me. Now I don't even have to think about the taxes. All I have to do is make sure that I provide you with what you need.
Now,
and I go back and forth.
how did it help you in your what was the feeling that you received when I just helped in like solve that problem for you? And
Two things happened for me. I grew up, which means I grew in my business. I did. I grew up. I was like, you can't be behind the camera and then also be the director at the same time. You got to pick a side. You got to pick what you're good at. I'm good at communicating, creating, finding, leveraging, and doing what I need to do. And I have to have somebody else do my content and somebody do my taxes and just make sure that, okay, when we have a conversation, you're like, I said to you, how can I develop um, my business credit without having to go into any real debt? Like everybody tries to push you to a credit card. And you were like, just take your car and transfer it into your business name and you can solve that problem today. And I'm like, whoa, boom. So it would have took a minute for me to figure it out or maybe running into someone. So I want to put in a quick plug for Black Women Invest because I know that you're going to be coming onto the community and I'm looking forward to them featuring you, right out of Cleveland. So give us your information again real quick. The name of your company, your phone number, and your web address.
name of the company is JP Tax Service and Accounting, headquartered out of Cleveland, Ohio. Phone number 216-334-5278. And the web address is jptaxservice.com. All one word.
All right. So great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk again soon. And thank you, audience, for tuning in to Love You to Life Radio with Janine Jennings and JP Tax Service. All right. It's on. All
It's
righty.
on. Oh, and also one quick thing. I wrote a book for entrepreneurs.
Oh,
Since
cool.
entrepreneurs are busy making the money, they don't think about the end result, the retirement piece. And so it's a
Okay.
simple, quick start of how to save for retirement, set up some simple retirements plans or avenues, so that way you can be 98 and still living and still have money coming in. So that way.
Cool. Good. Okay, good. Is it on your website?
It is on my website, but I will also send you all the link for your audience
Okay,
to
please
grab.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
please do. Okay, well, great. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. And thank you. Love you to life, Janine
Thank
Jennings.
you.
All
Love you to
right.
life.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.